Yeah, right, okay. So, is that it? Can we go? Right. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, I've got a mate here of mine from England, James Bowie, from James Bowie Sharpening Products, and we've known each other for 30 years. He's just spent a few days here in Vegas kicking back. We've had a busy year, and we thought we'd take this opportunity to show you a pack that we've put together designed specifically for wood turners, for sharpening. Now, a lot of people, I've been an advocate of the diamond horn for years and years, and not a lot of people know how to use them, and that's probably the key thing. They think you've got to put a lot of pressure on and whatever. This is a great opportunity for James here to explain about diamond products and how they work. So look, mate, it's up to you. You go for it.
So Jimmy hit a really good point there that as far as I'm concerned, over all the years, one of the biggest problems is that people, although quite a lot of people have bought some various diamond products in the past, they don't really know how to use them or haven't been explained how to use them effectively. So I just want to try and show you a quick demonstration to show how quickly you can put an edge on a tool with very, very little pressure. But I'm going to use a knife. I'm not going to even get into the wood turning tools just yet. So I'm going to use this knife that I just got out of Jimmy's kitchen, out of his knife block, and I try to pick out the worst one because it's always more effective if you work with the worst knife that you can come across, and finding the worst one was not really a problem. So all I'm going to show you, so I put a little bit of an edge on this before we started, so that's the sort of edge I would suggest that you need on something like a kitchen knife. So if I just try and turn this back into how I found it.
Thanks, James.
And then I'll just give that another test on here. Okay. I think you'll agree that's pretty...
Are you bullshitting there? Hold on, let me have a go. No, it won't do it. No, seriously.
So, within this range of products that we're going to talk about that Jimmy and I put together, this is one of them, which is the Machinist's. It's double-sided. You have a 300 grit coarse and a 600 grit fine. For these products, you're looking at a layer of diamond electroplated onto the surface. These are all double-sided. Turn that over. It's got a different grit on that side, but the subtle difference is the diamond is electroplated onto the same base material.
Right.
It isn't just something where we've electroplated some diamond on and then gone and stuck it on top of something, because to me that defeats the object of the game once you've achieved a reasonably flat surface there. But I'm going to go back to that knife.
Right.
I did blunt it, didn't I?
Yeah, yeah.
So we're just going to use the fine side on this.
And what grit
this
is that?
This is a 600 grit,
right, okay.
And here we have a 300 grit.
Right.
The 300 grit is the sort of edge that you need for your turning tools, because in my opinion you need what I call a coarse sharp edge. But the fine one is ideal for all your carbides, which we'll get onto in a minute. So I'm just going to take this down fairly lightly, and I like to do alternate strokes. If your knife is severely blunt, you can do one of two things. You can either go onto the 300 grit and take down the shoulders on each side and then do these light alternate strokes. Now that was only about 3 or 4 strokes. I'm not going to suggest that that was perfect, but it's always quite impressive if you can do it reasonably quickly. Wow. And that's the sort of edge I just achieved on that. And that was with 3 fairly light strokes, just chatting.
And they were light, you weren't like, really giving it some.
3 light strokes, just literally just having a chat with Jimmy at the time. So that will just sort of improve, just nice and slowly. Angle, optimum angle for a knife is 16.734 degrees, always remember that. Mm-hmm. It's all fairly logical. If I come around here, Mary, if you can catch that, the lesser the angle there, the more of a filleting edge. Does that help?
Yep, you're going to have to drop it down, back down to where you were down.
Go around this way and show that
just
angle.
Just back
there.
down. Yeah, right. See,
there?
don't keep your hands at that same position during this whole time.
There?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Where I was here?
Yeah.
Oh, you can catch that. Okay.
Yeah.
So, 3, 2, 1, don't. So, when you're sharpening a knife, a lot of people say to me, what is the best angle? Well, it's all fairly logical. The best angle is actually 16.734 degrees, and I get that correct every time. And No, it's all fairly logical. If you apply that fairly flat here, and you just increase that at a slight angle, you're putting on there what I call a filleting edge. The more of the angle when you increase it, the more of a boning edge you're putting on. So if it's in the kitchen and it's a reasonable knife, and I think you want a fairly decent edge there as opposed to your boning edges here, and then just you're working that. And I find it easier if you just flick that over, shallow angle, and take it on the other side. Here, here. And it's as simple as that. But we're not here to talk about kitchen knives. Hopefully that shows you something else that this will do, as well as at the same time showing you how to do your kitchen knives. But we're going to move on to turning. That was a bit of magic, you see. I've got a cup of tea now without it being remarkable. Now, just as a brief recap before we go on to the turning tools, I'm just going to show you visually what we just mentioned about the knives, because Jimmy thought it was important. Follow me over here, please, Mary.
Visual.
So here we have, I'm not very good at drawing, but you'll see that's the optimum angle for the experts or sados, 16.734 degrees. But the thing for logical people here, be quiet Merlin, is that here we have A, a steep angle for a boning edge, B, a fine angle for a filleting edge. Straightforward as that. The flatter you're doing it, the more of a filleting edge, the more of an angle, the more of a boning edge.
Let me dog you,
I don't know if you met Merlin before. How's Merlin?
Hiya, son.
Right.
Oh, there now. There now. Are you going to help us sharpen? Are you going to help us sharpen?
You just don't like being left out, do you?
Yeah, are you going to help
You
us
don't
sharpen?
like being left out.
Good boy. Good boy. Right, I'm going to take you in.
Are you going to talk to me?
Come see. Come see. Good boy.